All right, well, we just wanted to take a few minutes of your time just to show you what to expect when you attend Crossroads, and we'd love to have you here. First, you need to know that you have to RSVP in order to come, and so we have RSVP on our website and our app, and that just really helps us know who's coming, and so we'd love for you to do that, and it helps us know as far as our seats go. We're trying to limit in the room to be about 100 people, and so just doing those RSVPs help us know who's coming to church. So as you're coming in the door, here I come to church, and the first thing I'll do is put my mask on. I won't wear it the whole time as I do my video, but you'll need to wear yours the whole time while you're here at Crossroads. But so I'll come in and we'll do a quick temperature check here at the door.
Hi, how are you today?
Good.
And you are good.
I'm good. So I'm in, and so I'm going to keep my mask on for just a minute, and I'll take it off for the rest of the video. But as you kind of notice, we had to change some things up around here, but we have some hand sanitizer stations throughout the building for you, just to help you, keep your hands clean. And everything that we have here is touchless, so you shouldn't have to touch anything, from doors to paper to anything, and I'll show you some more of that in just a minute. But everything's touchless. So if I have a family and I'm here, I'm going to stop right here at our family ministry kids area, and Amber's going to tell you just a minute about what that's going to look like.
Hi, welcome to Crossroads, and if you have a child, you're going to want to stop and see us at our check-in station. Again, Pastor Aaron mentioned that we are completely touchless, so if you RSVP'd with us, your tags for you as a parent and for your child will be already printed for you. You'll just pick them up. We'll be asking you a few questions just to make sure that you and your child are symptom-free. You haven't been in contact with anyone who has had COVID, and you haven't obviously been tested for that. So we're going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to take you and your children down the hallway here in Kidmin, and there'll be a desk right here for drop-off. So you want to come to the desk? A volunteer will be ready for you. Right now, we currently have our nursery and toddler rooms open. So what we'll ask you to do is, instead of bringing in your whole diaper bag and all of the supplies needed, we're just going to take a few of your supplies, put them in a Ziploc bag with a name attached to them, and then take your children as you go into service, and we'll drop them off in their classrooms. But I want to show you what we have going on. So we'll bring your child back here. If they're a toddler, this is our toddler room. The first thing we'll do when your toddler gets brought into the classroom is take them into the restroom and wash their hands. Once their hands are washed and their items have been placed in their cubby, we'll give them a separate bin, and we'll take them to a table that is 6 feet distanced from everyone else. They'll have their own bin with their own toys to play with at their own table. Once they're done with this activity, they'll be placed on a cart in the hallway to be sanitized. And then there'll be a couple other activities that they'll do during their 45-minute time with us. We'll do a worship video where they'll get to sing and dance. We'll also do a Bible story video where they'll get to learn about their lesson, and a craft. And a couple other small activities. If we do anything, they'll have their own Play-Doh, their own toys, their own activities to do right at their desk, and then we'll sanitize them when they're done. All right, if you have a child in our nursery, we're going to show you the nursery section next. Our nursery environment is set up for babies, infant to crawling, and they'll stay in this section over here with 2 or 3 volunteers. And then for our crawlers and those who are getting ready to walk, we have a setup on this side. Mats that can be wiped down, any surface that can be sanitized easily. They'll also be given a bin when they come in that will have their toys just for them, and we'll sanitize those when they're done with it and be ready for the next service. You'll have to realize that as we open up every room in Kidmin, we're going to take the same precautions for every classroom, whether it be 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and then in our elementary room, and we look really forward to seeing your families.
All right, one of the things that Amber didn't mention is that we you do have to RSVP for your children to come into KidMin. She might have said that. But also there's a limited number so that we can make sure that all of our kids are safe and we don't fill up these rooms and not be able to have the social distancing that we need to have in those rooms. So that's what's going on with KidMin. And so let's go back this way. So now if you come in and you're like, well, I didn't have any kids to drop off tonight or today, so I'm going to actually just go on into service. There's a flow that we have here, and it goes from the front door, so you get your temperature check, and then you're just going to come right through the flow here, and you'll see signs all around that should do that, but it continues to flow. You see signage there for that, and as we come to about here, if you're a guest with us, we'd love for you to stop at guest services. We'll have a great team there to help you with that. And again, signage helps you know exactly how to get in. So let's go ahead and go in the worship center, because many of you probably haven't seen what that looks like yet. I want you to see what it looks like and how we have it set up in the worship center. And so you'll come in, and we've, at this point, we have removed half the seats, and so there's plenty of room front to back from row to row on the seats. And like I said earlier, we are all of our services are touchless, and so there are no pins or cards or anything like that. There's actually QR codes on the seats that you can use your phone, and that will pop up the form if you want to have us to pray for you, or you make some kind of decision, or if you're a guest. You just use that QR code there. You don't have to write anything down, and it fills it in there on your phone. You can do that. As you come in to sit down, you'll find a seat, and we've encouraged families to sit together. I mean, you guys are together all the time anyway, so families to sit together. And then if you, if you're not related, or you didn't ride together, or whatever the case might be, you're going to actually want to save 3 seats between you and the next person. So if I'm here and there's a whole other family there, we're going to just leave these 3 seats in between us. And we've got slides rolling that tell you that, other things that will help you understand that as you come. So again, there's plenty of room here. We have, I believe, about 170 seats that are set up right now, and we've limited our services to each service to 100 people. So there's plenty of room for you to spread out, feel comfortable, have the distance that you need. And so while you're here, we just want you to worship, hear what God has to say to you, respond to what He wants you to do, and so really just enjoy the worship. We'll have our masks on, we'll sing together. Other than that, it's just like a regular worship service where we worship the Lord together, and we have an element in our service for our kids, and then I usually give like a 25-minute message that I hope is really relevant to your life and be something that you'd really enjoy. And then once service is over, I take the time to dismiss section by section so we don't have a huge bottleneck at the door. But as we came in this door, we'll actually exit out of the other door. And so really easy again. The signage helps you know what to do, and you'll just head right out this way and then out the door. As the weather's still really nice, we've encouraged people to go outside to talk, and people have done that, and many people have stayed for a really long time to talk, and we enjoy that. That's part of our church. We're a connecting church, and one of the hard things with COVID is we haven't really been able to let people just kind of stay in and talk and stay, because we've got to clean up for the next service. And so we've just encouraged people to go outside and talk, and people stay out in the front and talk for as long as they want to, and we want you to be able to do that outside. And then, so here's the flow out, and then you're out the door, and you're done. And so just one other thing that I want to say to you as we kind of wrap up the video is, this seems like a lot. We've got masks and temperature checks and QR codes, and it seems like a whole lot of stuff. And maybe some churches or other places that aren't really doing these things, and we just feel really passionate about doing these. We want to keep people safe. We want to keep our families safe. We want to keep our elderly in our church safe. And so we're going to do all of these different things for those reasons. But there's a whole other reason too. And that reason is that if we do these things, and let's say on Wednesday somebody calls the church office and says, hey, I was at your 11 o'clock service and I tested positive for COVID. And then as that becomes part of, that goes to the health department, and then contact tracing begins. The questions then are going to be asked. Well, where did you go? Well, I was at Crossroads Community Church. Did you wear a mask? Yes. Were the other people around you wearing a mask? Yes. Did you spread out? Were you 6 feet apart from other people? Yes. And because the answers to all those are yes, and the extra things that we're doing with temperature checks and the bins and all the things that Amber showed back in KidsMin, because of that, I think we'll be able to stay open. And we'll shut down if we have to again. We really want to be able to stay open, and we feel like if we do these things, it will help us to stay open longer so we can come together and worship here. And just a reminder too that we have 4 services, 9 and 11 in person and 9 and 11 online. And you can do any of those things, whatever's comfortable for you and your family, okay? All right. That gives you a good kind of video and impression of what we're doing here at Crossroads. We'd love to have you either in person or online. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you online or in person on Sunday. Thanks.